What's going on, everybody? Hola, como está? Rob here, a.k.a. Trail 2323. ¿Dónde está el biblioteca? Guess what I got here? I got an Amazon box. We all like opening Amazon box, so this is an unboxing. Now, technically, there should be two things in this box. If you're following me for the solar that I just started, I'm trying to teach myself how to do solar power. Watch the video first about solar power, because a lot of people really don't need solar power because it's going to cost you more if you finance solar power than if you just pay your bills. All right, so this is two things right here. It is two things. This is the second time I'm getting this. This is a 25 watt 30 ohm resistor. All it is this little metal, little block with a metal wire on both sides of it. And this is with my BMS, my battery management system, the negative that goes into my grow watt. Before I connect my 48 volt battery, apparently I have to touch this on the negative part going into it and this on the post for my grow watt on the negative side, so I can charge it up before I put it on there and it sparks. Will Prowse has something on that. I don't know why it stopped. They had a minute and 29, then it just stopped. Okay, this is a Eco-Worthy PV combiner box. Eco-Worthy 4-string PV combiner box. So these is what we're going to open up right now. These is what we're gonna unbox, and I'm gonna explain to you why I chose this. A lot of people get the Midnight Solar ones, but one thing with me is I am a total plug and play. I don't care if it's, believe it or not, I actually think the Midnight Solar is, you do have to buy everything individually, and I think it's actually gonna come out to a little bit more money. Let me get this LED light over here. Now this is a PV combiner box. This right here. Here's a little bit about it, how you hook it up. And then here, right here, is the maximum number of connected photovoltaic strings is 4. Maximum input current of a single string is 10 amps. Total input of a string, total input current of a photovoltaic string is 40 amps. So I don't understand that. Maximum input of it is 10 amps, but total input current of the strings is 40 amps. Oh, because there's 4 strings that could be plugged in there. How about that? Maximum input voltage of a single string is 250 volt. Maximum output system voltage 250 volts. Working temperature minus 30 to 70 Celsius. Oh, minus 30 to 70 Celsius. Cooling mode, natural cooling. Surge protecting and lightning, yes. So this is the Eco-Worthy PV combiner box. Okay, so these are the MC4 connectors, and these are the hots, and these are the grounds. You know what I didn't know, and like it's pretty crazy because I don't know why they're different colors. So if you got the house, your current in the house is a hot wire. Your voltage is coming through a black wire, and then there's a neutral wire, which is the white one, and then there's the ground, right? Unless you're running a 220 line, then you got a red, a black, and a ground. If it's, well, the 220 I got is red, black, and ground. But then on a boat, the ground is a yellow. So I'm like, what the heck? And on this one right here, since 12 volt, the black is the ground and the red is the hot. So it's really confusing because I have each one of them. So on this, I have to put 12 volt red hot, black ground, because on a regular house, the black is the hot. But anyways, let's go from here. So it has the 4 strings here. DC input, DC input. The positives and the hots are 4 strings. DC output, DC output. Does it say positive up there? DC output positive, DC output negative, and here is the ground right here. Now this should be an NPC4 connector right here. Let me see what kind of connector it is. I don't even know. The wire just goes in there, but there's no rubber gasket in there. Normally the rubber gasket will go in there, but these are MC4 connectors for the I would say hot and mild sauce. Okay. So it does got the electrical warning thing on here. Now this is going to get mounted probably more than likely on the garage, because this is going to be closer to the solar panels. Right now I got 4 100-watt solar panels, 12 volts. So in series it's 48 volts, but it's only 400 watts. So of course, if you're following me, you know that's completely inadequate. And somebody recommended that I get two 350-watt panels at 24 volts, run those. So one string will be the 100-watt panels for, and then one string will be the 24-volt panels for the 48 volts and 48 volts. So there'll be two strings. So I got enough for two more strings. Now I know this right here is capable of doing up to 2,300 watts at 48 volts. This is capable of doing 2,300 watts at 48 volts. So if we look in here, it actually does look very, very, very well put together. But these right here are your breakers. 1, 2, 3, 4 breakers. And then there should be your main breaker coming out. So where's this coming into here? I gotta check it out, man. Check it out, man. This looks like the main breaker right here. Let me do some research. I'll be right back with you. Okay, this is where I tell you reading is fundamental, boys and girls. Okay, so with this combiner box right here, this is two breakers together right here, and there's a screw right here. This goes to the bottom, and this is for your ground. This is for your lightning right here. And if you watch my videos, I just installed two 8-foot lightning poles in the back because I ran the 220 line to the garage. So between the house and the garage, there's two 8-foot lightning poles that I grounded completely into the ground. So this right here will come right up into here and go right into here. And that's, people say, why is that little wire like that's going to do anything for electricity? Well, when electricity is so strong and so high of a current, it rides on the outside of the wire. So that's why that wire right there, if you see in the big electrical poles, they got that one little copper wire going into the ground. That's why, because the lightning rides on the outside. And also with the electric magnetism, if lightning hits somewhere, the electric magnetism is going to arc to whatever metal's around. So more than likely it'll arc to the solar panels. So when it hits here, it blows it off into the ground. Okay, so this is where your ground is going to be, and should be grounded into the ground. And my ground rods are 8 feet deep. Okay, the right and the left is your positive and negative on this breaker. Then you put it on. When you put it on, you see it's, I would believe up is on because it's red. So that's the one is for they come in the bottom right here, and then there's a left and a right, and it tells you, I'm reading this fundamental. It's on here. Let's see. Connect the wired circuit breaker. The positive pole on the left, the negative pole on the right. The positive on the left, the negative on the right. So let me look at it. The positive on the left, the negative on the right. Okay. Now these right here, I thought these were circuit breakers. These are not circuit breakers that come in for each string. These are fuses. Check it out, man. Check it out, man. You flip them open, and there's the fuses right there. And then you put them back in, and you put it up. So those are the fuses. And these, I would venture to say, are these are all parallel. These are all parallel because it's going to be different strings of 48 volts. Different strings of 48 volts. So as long as I connect them how they're going to be, it's going to be parallel and come out as the 48 volts. All right, so you don't want to mix them up and do all the crazy stuff. Now, I was told by a guy that's really big into solar that with my 100-watt solar panels in series at 48 volts, he calculated how much watts and amps and what is the other one? There's another thing you gotta look for. Open voltage current, I think it is. He says everything's fine for me to run that string into one of these. He says, but my next string should be two 24-volt panels in series at 350 watts each. He says, and that should be enough for the system that I'm running, the 3,000 watt system. Is it 3,000 watt? 3,000 watt system, okay? But with this right here, I know that this one right here can do up to, the one that I bought states that it could, if I'm running a 48 volt system, it can handle 230 watts. All right, but also it says use a 10 gauge or thicker wire. I don't want to say lower number, but 10 gauge or lower number, 10 gauge or thicker wire. All right, either way, that is me unboxing my EcoWorthy, it says EcoWorthy PV combiner box. And it got the little thing for the lock here, so I will lock it. Also, it got hooks for the screws that you can screw this on. Put the screws in, mark it. I wish they had a template. It'd be nice if this was a template also that you can mark it and screw them in, right? But either way, that's what the back of it looks like. It got this on the front of it. It says do not install it in direct sunlight. So that's another thing that this does say, all right? either way, thanks for watching. Thanks for still following me on this journey. I'm learning. I got my batteries coming in. Look up LG Chem Packs. I got 14 LG Chem Packs coming in. They're supposed to be 3.7 volts each. And they're the Life PO4. They're the lithium ions. And I got a BMS that I'm going to be hooking up to them. All right? Either way, let's work on this together or try to grow it. But watch my first video if you're starting solar. I got a first video on kind of just my first step into solar. All right? Talk to you later. Bye-bye.